Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so excited that you're here. Just know that whoever invited you to the call this evening must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. We are truly watching it change people's lives, and we are so thankful that we have it and are able to introduce it to people all of the time. And so, with that, just letting you know, our call tonight will be for about 30 minutes. For those who are new on the call, what we're going to be doing is Vickie is going to share her amazing testimony about just a recent injury and surgery. And so I haven't even gotten to hear the whole story. So I'm super excited for that. And after that, then I will come back on and just share just a short snippet about the technology and what it does and how it works. So we want to start with our medical disclaimer. All Lifeway products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you're pregnant or nursing, please check with your physician first. And with that, I am going to turn this over to my amazing friend, Vickie Milad, and have her share her story with us, what happened to her, and then how she was able to use the technology to be helpful with what she was going through. So Vickie, please take it away.
Thank you, Nikki, and thank you everyone for joining us. This is such an incredible opportunity to be able to share my experience and just having life happen. Sometimes we go through challenges and obstacles, but God always makes a way. So that's my philosophy. And going into this, I just wanted to say that I didn't even know what had happened to my arm. So 5 weeks after this had happened, but your mindset really is your asset in this. So I was thinking, however I can do this to get through and get over to the other side. I had no idea what was done to my arm. All I know is that it was injured. So I had taken my dogs out in the yard and they were running around. The neighbor's dog came out, and I have dogs that like to have the zoomies. So they're like going this way, that way, and every way. And I went to go grab the bigger dog. And when he ran by me, my arm flung and it hyperextended, something snapped, and immediately I felt pain. And I just stood, held my arm in the backyard and went, no. So I was like, oh my goodness. Immediately I stopped and then I started praying and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be calm about this. I'm gonna, see what the Lord would have me to do. I just went right into my kitchen, grabbed my patch bag, and I just started putting patches all over my arm. And a short while later, my husband goes, do you think you should go and have an x-ray done just to make sure there's nothing broken? And I said, yeah, I mean, I would feel more at peace knowing that nothing is broken. So I had done that and nothing was broken, thankfully. It took me 3 weeks to get in to see my primary care doctor. And that was before I had the MRI. And then 2 weeks later, I had the MRI and the results. And through all of this, I didn't know that it was, my bicep was torn, but we had even gone to the convention in Dallas. I was patching my arm every day. I could use it, but minimally. And every once in a while, if I use it the wrong way, the pain would remind me, hey, there's something going on here. And I was like, I'll find out when I get back from the convention. I just want to enjoy myself there. And yeah, so when I got back from the convention, my doctor had said, yeah, it looks like you have a torn bicep. And I was like, I was so shocked because I would have thought that I would have had more excruciating pain to deal with. Like the pain was just manageable. And I was just shocked. And I said, so what do we do from here? And I had surgery 2 weeks later. So let me go through and share my screen if I can. Okay, so this is the day after I had gone to have the x-ray done. They had given me, one of these wraps. They gave me an arm sling. And of course, you see my patches on there. I'm like you, Nikki, pop the spot with a lot. I just started putting them all over my arm because it was helping me with the pain. So, yeah, so that was what they had suggested. And then I had the surgery. Oops, I can't move this. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. So yeah, I had the surgery, and this whole part on my arm here, this is a cast. And I'm 52. I've never broken any bones in my body, thankfully. So this was all new to me. And the surgery wasn't bad. It was more lugging around. I felt like I had a cinder block on my arm. And then I had to lug this thing around with me until this thing came off. But I'm thankful that our technology works through this material because I just started placing the patches on top of the cast and the wrap. And it really, really helped me manage the pain and the swelling. And let's see, yeah, there's my sling. And that was the day of surgery because I had the blue wrap on my arm. So I guess it was just kind of managing and adjusting. This is Yeah, so I just kind of popped all of these. So these are all the 3Y age patches and X39. So yeah, I just felt like it helped with the inflammation, the swelling, and the bruising when I had something happen before. So I was like, I'm just going to keep putting them on there each and every day, and it's going to help me some way, somehow. I'm going to be able to get over this. And let's see. So yeah, I had the cast removed. I guess it was 7 weeks after this had happened, and they had given me this elbow brace. The elbow brace wasn't too bad because, it was like I didn't have to try to stuff it inside of something to get warm. I could put my clothing on if it was tight fitting and put my brace back on. But if you can see, that's my incision right there, but it just kind of like Velcroed around and it kept my arm stable for a couple weeks, and I kind of like felt like Bionic Woman, So I always watched that show growing up, and I'm like, what's it feel like to be the Bionic Woman? Well, there you go. And sorry if this is graphic for some, but this was the incision when they removed my cast, and it still had like some adhesive on top of it, and there was like hardly, minimal swelling, mild bruising. Yeah, like you can see my arm, it was just stuffed in that cast for a couple weeks, but it was so nice to have that taken off. And the first thing I just said, thank you for the air to hit my skin. That was just amazing feeling. And having the elbow brace was definitely a plus because it did support my arm, and I was like well on my way to recovery. So thankful that I got past that. And this was the only bruise right here by my elbow. It's mild, like right here in this area. And that was the only bruising that had happened, and it didn't stay for long at all. Um, yeah, you can see it a little bit closer. And it doesn't look like it's swollen, but it was a tiny bit swelling right by my elbow where they had put the button on the inside. And through this, that's what it looks like. So this is let's see, about 8-week progress. So I had the surgery, had it removed, and this was 8 weeks after my surgery. Now, when I used the patches, I also added, I know we don't have this product anymore, but I loved it, and I still have a few sleeves, so I'm like, why not use it? The Nirvana. That really, really helped me tremendously, especially when it comes to pain, because I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to manage with this, trying to figure out what's going on and healing. But it really, really made a big difference. Let me see, I have a couple other notes. Let's see here. Oh, I also had some nerve damage from like on my forearm down to my wrist after the cast was removed. And oh, let me stop sharing. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're
Okay.
doing great. You did
All right.
great.
So we see you now. Yeah. So I had some nerve damage, and I patch my arm every day because, the regeneration happening, help with more mobility and strength for me. And it was a little stiff, like my thumb was a little, wonky. It wasn't like full motion. So I had been working on that with PT. Yeah, and just using carnosine X39 on this area was very, very helpful. I did have a problem with sleep though, because after I got my cast on, I'm usually a left-sided sleeper. I was always, I guess, after I had had my children, I always laid on my left side because it was, good for more blood circulation and everything, and then just got used to it. Well, when this happened, it's my left arm. I couldn't lay on my left side. So I could only lay on my right side or my back. And through that, I started to have some sciatica pain. And I've never had the sciatica pain before, but I kind of figured that's what it was because it goes down like the back of your leg. So I started patching for that, and the X39, X39, X39. Just use the X39 for sure. Like if you're unsure, just put an X39 in the spot, drink some water, and it really, really makes a huge difference. And yeah, now I just put like my regular patches on. Every once in a while, I'll, put my carnosine here, and I don't use any ice wave because I don't have any pain. But yeah, I mean, the whole experience was definitely something I had never gone through before because I'd never broken or, I had separated my shoulder, but I didn't need a cast or anything for that. But yeah, it was just kind of getting used to everything and getting everything working back in order. So for me, it was just kind of getting back to a regular normal and trying to sleep in my own bed. That was a blessing to be able to get back in my own bed. Thank God. And when you get a good night's sleep, your body heals. So I was so thankful. The first night I could sleep in my bed, I was so well rested when I woke up. And oh my goodness, it just makes such a big difference for the healing process. And yeah, I think I touched on everything. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So it was amazing that you didn't even have to use Ice Wave so you didn't really use that through the whole process then.
I did use Ice Wave on the cast after the surgery.
Okay. And you could feel it reducing the pain even through the cast.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing. And so you just moved it around and used the clock method like normal?
I moved it around. Sometimes I put the tan one on one side, the white one on the other, because it kind of like would get this whole section. Yeah, and then sometimes it would be like one here, one down here. However, I felt like it relieved the pain for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. And so then your scar is it pretty much, I mean, I couldn't really tell from the picture, but it looked like it's really not even very visible.
Yeah, and like my skin when I first got the cast off, you could see it. It was like raised up, like it had like a zip code all of its own. Like it was just making this whole different form. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? And I was like, wow, hopefully that goes down. But yeah, over the next 2 weeks after that, just massaging it and hoping, like moving around the scar tissue and patching it, of course. I also used the aloe vera cream on the incision itself because it's very, very good for your skin, soothing, it's healing, it has so many different properties in it. Yeah, and it's not overly greasy. So, and he said that I could use those things on the area. So I did. And yeah, it's really made a big difference. And the scar is hardly there. So I'm thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you were able, the scar then went from being raised to back to normal.
Yes, to flat. It took maybe about a month or so after I had gotten the cast off for that to happen because they like one side went down first and then the other side went down like the week after. So as long as it's flattening out and the scar tissue is not there, it's kind of like being broken up. So it's flattened out again, and I just have a nice scar to tell a story. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, that's amazing. I know, like you said, so thankful for this technology to have something to use when accidents just happen. It happens to all of us and things happen and this is a great tool to have in our toolbox for sure.
yes. For
Yeah.
sure. And I'm telling you, like, never leave out of your house without taking your first aid kit, which is my patch bag. Because you never know when you're going to need it. I mean, and if you have it, use it. It's there. You
Yeah.
could run into somebody, see someone that needs it, of course, but also for yourself. So that's why I call it my first aid kit. I don't go anywhere without this.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I was walking up the stairs at my gym the other day, wasn't even trying to rush really or anything like that. And there's slate stairs, and I fell up the stairs and slammed my knee so hard. I mean, so hard into the stairs. And I was so, I literally, like, thankfully, there was one of the employees there just kept reassuring me, just sit there as long as you need to, it's okay. Like, I literally couldn't talk, and I literally didn't think I was going to be able to get up. I was in so much pain. He just like, just take your time. You're not in any rush. I mean, he was so, so sweet. And so anyway, finally, then I was able, to talk, back to him. And of course, the first thing I say is, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you're not laughing hysterically at me because it just went down." I mean, it would just, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, no." He's like, "I saw your knee slam into the stairs." It's just one of those bloopers things that you think, "Oh my goodness, if somebody was recording me, that would have just been one of those times where people are just dying laughing. Like, here she is carrying her yoga mat and her water, and she just goes down. She's falling up the stairs." So yeah, my knee, I just was like, "Okay, am I gonna go do yoga?" But I already had patches on, thankfully, and I had them, in my car. So as soon as I went out to the car, I patched every part. I mean, I multiple, like I mean, I popped the spot with a lot. I had like 3 sets of different kinds of patches. It is still bruised a little bit. This was just, let's see, I think this was just Tuesday. Yeah, this was just Tuesday. So 2 days ago. Anyway, but literally, like, it hardly any inflammation. And really, I bruise super easily. So before I started utilizing patches, my entire knee would be black and blue and huge and swollen. It would just, and not, when you get that inflammation in a joint like that, you can't move it. Like, it doesn't want to move. It's very stiff. You have pain and all of that. I have not had stiffness. I mean, I've had some of the pain because of the tenderness, like if I touch it, where the bruising is. But other than that, like, I can move it fine. I mean, I've gone to work out and walked and all that. I'm still doing everything. Whereas that would have never been the case without this technology. So, yes, so I am with you. I carry that first aid kit because yes, we all have accidents. We all have stuff happen that we don't plan on happening, and we need this. So, I
You know,
am right
I
there with
used to bruise a lot as well. Like, and my dogs would just like, kind of like prance their little paws on my leg or something. When I come in the house or whatever, I would get bruises all over my legs
you.
just from the touch. And that's why I was so surprised that it was just that mild bruising in that area. And
Exactly.
another thing I wanted to share and add was that I'm so thankful for my family, my husband, my wonderful husband, and my boys, especially my Jacob. He stepped up to the plate, and I didn't know if I should milk it more a little bit longer because he was doing the mise en place for the food, cutting up all the the goods, the veggies, and he was washing my dishes in the evening, and I was like, oh my God, what would I do without you?
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm just so blessed and thankful for them.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it is such a blessing to have a wonderful family that comes alongside and helps when things just don't go quite right. They can step in and help out. It is such a blessing. So let me tell you all real quickly just a little bit about the technology. If you have questions, please feel free to write them in the chat. And when we're done, if we have some time left, you can raise your hand and come on and ask Vickie some other questions. But let me just go over how this technology works. Vickie, will you show your hand and talk again? I have mine on my elbows, but I don't have one, so you can see the patch. Okay, so you got
I
to
can't.
talk.
Oh, wait. Oh, I have to.
There you
Okay.
go.
There
Yes,
you
so
go.
this is what this amazing technology looks like.
Mhm.
It's tiny little Band-Aid, just absolutely incredible. Does all of these things in the body to help us heal and restore and regenerate. And have our body just work the way it was designed. So basically, it elevates and activates a peptide called GHK copper peptide. And how it does that is it reflects our own body's infrared light. So the way that you understand this, you guys don't really realize it because we don't think about it when we're watching a show and we see them looking through those night vision goggles, and they call it a heat signature. It's technically a low-grade infrared light that comes out of our body everywhere. And this technology has a crystal lattice structure on the inside of it that is reflective. And that reflects that infrared light back into our body, signaling that specific peptide. This whole process is actually called photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. Once again, you all already know what this is because every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D and tells your body to have that vitamin D do what it was designed to do in the body. And so that is what's happening is now we are the heat source. We are the light source. We are the sun, so to speak. We don't have to have the sun for this technology to work because our body is doing it on its own. So when it goes in and it tells this peptide to get up and get working, what happens is that in particular peptide, if you Google GHK copper peptide, you will find a long list of things. I'm just going to list out a few. Number one, it activates stem cells. So as we age, our stem cell ability to do what it was designed to do starts to uh, starts to wane. So by the time you're 30, about half of your stem cells are no longer working as much as they could. By the time you're 60, you only have 10% of those stem cells really functioning well, which is why between the ages of 30 and 60, you can see aches, pains, illness, disease, all of these things start to set in. It's because those stem cells are going dormant or not working up to their full potential. And so with that, when you activate and elevate those stem cells, you can have almost any positive thing happen in the body, and your body gets to decide. Your body then tells those stem cells where to go, where to rejuvenate, what you need to have optimal health and really sustain your life. And that's what those stem cells are there for. Some of the other major things that it does is it supports your entire cardiovascular system, your heart, your blood vessels, the lining of your blood vessels, every part. I see it all the time where people are able to bring their blood pressure back in balance. It's a very common thing because of how much support is given to the cardiovascular system through this peptide. Another thing is your brain. Your brain starts about 6 weeks or so. Everybody's different. So that's just what the clinical testing shows, but it can happen. It can happen, sooner than that for people. It can happen later than that for people, but your brain starts to become balanced. Brain fog starts to lift. You start to think clearer. You're processing information better. You're remembering things better. Anxiety and depression start to lift. So it really supports your brain as well. It supports your entire immune system. So now that we're in winter, it's a fabulous thing to have in your toolbox that you're using on a daily basis so that hopefully your body is able to better deal with whatever toxins it's being exposed to. It also supports your collagen. So collagen from the base. Most people don't realize that collagen is not just about hair, skin, and nails. It is a foundational building block to what is going on in your body. So the fascia, the muscles, the bones, the organs, the lining of the organs, everything in your body needs collagen for support. So this is one of those things that it's something that you could stop taking if you're spending money on that, because this technology is already doing it, and it's doing it foundationally. So it's not just a few types of collagen, it is across the board, every part of collagen that your body needs. So those are some major body systems that one piece of technology, the X39, activate, elevates, and begins to repair those different areas in your body. So it is the value of what you are getting is there's nothing that you could get on the market that even comes close to this that would give you all those support for all those body systems in one thing at one time in as easy as just putting on a tiny little patch. So that is our main flagship product is the X39. That's what we always start people out with because it does so much for the body because it activates those stem cells. But as you can see, Vickie was talking about, we have a whole line for all kinds of different needs that people might have for reasons of whatever your goals are, whatever you're looking for to do. We have other supportive technology that is truly groundbreaking and phenomenal to just and the ease of use as well. You go about your day and do whatever it is that you want to do in that day and have all kinds of body support going on. So does anybody have any questions real quick? I know that was a quick overview. Oh, I forgot to say 1 month for every decade you're old. That's kind of the base. So if you're 50, you want to give it 5 months to really see what it's going to do for you. If you have any sort of condition, any sort of issue, whatever it might be, you really need to give it longer than that because it took you a long time to get in that state. So really 6 months to a year is going to be a better guide if you have some other things going on so that you can really get those stem cells of what you need activated and going to repair all of those areas because it's taken a long time to get in whatever state you're in as well. But there's going to be things along the way that you notice that are helping you, whether it's your sleep, whether it's your energy, whether it's your strength and stamina. Maybe you just have an overall sense of well-being. Those are all very, very common things with this technology. So we would love to answer a few questions if you have any questions for Vickie or for either of us on the technology. Yes, Pastor Ed, please come on.
What was totally amazing for me was that this technology can go through the cast. And I had
Yes.
patched the lady before years ago, and I couldn't believe it. But when Vickie was patched and the pain was gone, I was just astonished. So for anybody, I am a witness. If anybody wants to know what really happened, and I'm sorry my camera is not working, I got to get a new one. But yeah, it's incredible testimony. Thank you, Vickie. You did a great job.
So Steve is asking, what did the doctors say about the patches?
So the funny thing is, my doctor had a torn bicep also, but he decided not to have surgery. And this was so long ago. But he's sorry that he didn't have the surgery. And he still has some pain, he said, in that arm. And I had just woken up out of surgery and I was telling my husband where to put the patches for the doctor. I'm like, patch him here, put that one there, put that one there. But yeah, he was a believer in the technology because we patched him and his facial expression said it all. Like he was just like he was astonished. Like, huh. So yeah, that was interesting. And it's always nice when the doctors are patched and they get to experience the technology for themselves. So
Absolutely. Yes. Does anybody else have any questions?
oh, Neff has one. Let me see.
Okay,
if I
great.
can-
Come on, Neff.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, you're muted, Neff.
Let me unmute
Okay.
myself. Did I mute myself now? Okay.
Yes.
It's not really a question. It's just a comment. Okay. My wife has been using the patches and she's been going crazy doing all kinds of things around the house. How do I slow her down?
That's it.
I
You don't
love
want
it.
to
I
slow her
love it.
down. Yeah, you let her go. You let
I
her
let
do
her
it.
go. She's painting. She's tearing the house apart, doing all kinds of things. What are you doing? So how do I slow her down now? Do I eliminate the patches or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. You'd have to take her patches away, and she might fight you for them now. So
Yep. Yes, that is
yeah,
so fun.
that is huge. That was one for me too. I can totally relate to that, Neff. Just to have my energy back and to feel young again and like I could go and do all these things and just feel so good. Absolute blessing. If that was the only thing this technology did for me, I would continue to wear it every single day. It is fabulous to feel like you have enough energy. And so we're just going to have to get you some more patches, Neff, so you can keep up with her.
I know I've been ordering now. I ordered some more. I have to take some to my neighbor because he's got a knee issue. But one thing I did notice that I had like arthritis building up in my hand, in my finger, and as you know, it's been healing slowly. I couldn't even do this. It would hurt so much, and it
Wow.
doesn't hurt anymore.
Yes, praise
No,
the
so
Lord.
this is good. This is good.
Yes.
I agree.
Absolutely. This is good. That's exactly right. This is always good. The technology always works, even if you feel like it's taking longer than you want to. We have all kinds of ways, no matter, where we live, we have all kinds of healthcare practitioners that have really good ways to test with what's going on. You can do blood work. It will show up at about 6 months, as well as even your ophthalmologist, your dentist. I tell people to go in, and if you're not feeling anything, there's still stuff going on. We promise that the technology always works, and you can see it in test results. So my husband is one of those, and we have test results to show that he is getting, better, stronger. Lots of things are changing in his body. He's just not feeling it, but he doesn't really have pain. So that's, one of the big differences, but he's definitely getting fabulous results in his tests. So we're very thankful for that. So thank you all so much for being on the call tonight. We are just so grateful and thankful that you chose to spend 30 minutes with us. Please make sure that you go back to the person who invited you to the call. Also, just know we have an amazing educational site. It's called patchtheway.com, PATCH, theway.com. All kinds of great information. We have over 150 patents. There's over 90 clinical studies. So we are fully scientifically backed and vetted. And then there's all kinds of great testimonials like what you heard here tonight with Vickie. So, but please get back to the person who invited you to the call, get more information. If you haven't started on the technology, please start today. We would love to help you get started, and we can't wait to hear all of the things that are going on with you and all of the things that you're noticing that it's doing for you as well. So did you have another thing, Neff?
Yeah, I hate to interrupt you, but I have a lot of things going on. Is anybody going to boot camp in Orlando? Because I'm going. I already registered.
I know there's a few people that are going. So yeah, if you look in the WhatsApp groups, I think a few of them are talking about it. So that's fabulous for sure. We're excited. We can't wait to hear all the things that you learn. So you'll have some things to come back and
I
teach
hope
us.
so.
And yes, absolutely, they're
And,
fabulous. They're
and I
absolutely
also
fabulous.
tried the patch the way. I already went in there, and
Mhm.
there's another one that you go into how to use the patches. There's my cousin told me to put it on my phone. What's the name of it? Is I forgot what it was. It's hold on. What is it? Patch up.
Oh
Patch app.
yes, yes,
And
yeah.
it is great. I've been looking up different things, and it gives me all the information that I need and where to put the patches. That's great. So now I have
Yes.
to order more patches.
That's right, because it told you some more that you thought you needed. I love it. That's so awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, with that, we just pray blessing over each and every one of you. Have a great night, everybody. God
Okay. Good
bless.
night.
Good
Good
Thanks,
night.
night.
Nikki. God bless
Thanks,
everyone.
Vickie.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming on.